Yes, so dear Dhamma practitioners, this is our ongoing meditation session. Be comfortable yourself and relax your body. So once we get connected with our other students, we're ready to start the session for today. Okay, so dear Dhamma practitioners, be comfortable yourself and relax your body. And keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line and your right palm on your left. So gently close your eyes and bring your attention to this bell sound. And while you're focusing to the sound, mentally relax your body and relax your mind and relax your breathing with your thoughts. So in case if you can't hear the bell sound, just settle down yourself and relax your body and listen to the silence. Do nothing extra. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened One. Okay, so dear Dhamma practitioners, before we start our practice session, as usual, let's take few minutes to understand why we have to practice meditation. Because we do all other things and we spend so much time for our day-to-day activities, and out of that all, most of time we hope to find the happiness and satisfaction, but still end of the day, most of time we can't find it. And then we keep continue, and we think tomorrow it will happen, and we keep chasing, go behind. So while we are doing like that, from birth to death in this journey, there are very few times that we can find little bit of happiness or satisfaction or fulfillment or contentment. So other most of time, we end up our day being disappointed. So, as ordinary people, most of us are kind of like heartbroken people. And why we broke our hearts? Because we had hopes. We used to believe something. We used to think about something, but it didn't happen the way we thought. And but still in deeper inside us, we have the desire to fulfill that inside dream. So this our heart itself has a kind of like unfinished job. That is where we keep looking things. That is where we always try to do things. When that is where we are planning and dreaming towards our future. But the thing is, if you don't have the right skill or the tools or the wisdom, what will happen? You're going to end up being more breakdown. You're going to be kind of like having more broken heart. And because of that anger, jealousy, hatred, and unsatisfaction, anxiety, depression, that's all the negative things. That, of course, those are very natural qualities in the world, but what happens once our heart is going to become disappointed, so out of that, whatever come to us, it become kind of like a poison. Even the medicine also going to become like poison once the heart is not balanced or once the heart is not pure. That is the key point that you have to understand. So we as ordinary people, we are living in this conventional world. We live with other people. So when it comes to that other people also, they are the same. In this journey, they also broke their heart by the time. We all have broken hearts. So then just imagine you have the same and other person have the broken hearts, and then when you try to live with that other people, and sometimes you're going to get disappointed. That's why when it comes to the entire world, look at the world when it comes to our human history, more than the satisfaction, more than the happiness, most of time we have to struggle with the war, fighting each other, hating each other, struggling with each other, demanding and resistance, go against each other. Those are kind of like a new normal for our life. So then you have to remember, even when it comes to a family, as husband, wife, children, brothers, sisters, and even when it comes to neighbors, as a little community, or even when it comes to a city, or even when it comes to a state level, and even when it comes to a country, national level, and to international level, or global level, or to the universal level, the most of time overtaking, go against each other, misunderstanding, misguiding, and anger, hatred, jealousy, this everything we experience each other because we all have broken hearts. Then have you ever thought about it and how you're going to cure it? What is the solution for this? When you have the broken hearts, most of time you break it down more and more and more into pieces. That is not a solution. So that's why You have to remember. When we have these broken hearts, one of the things, actually the heart itself cannot break. The heart is a very, very resilient and it has ability to come back. This is what you have to understand. So then why we experience this? Because once the heart affect with something, what happens? The mind the thoughts start to communicate with the heart. And the thoughts are the ones who bringing, which we call the chitta or the mind, bringing this everything and reminding and repeating, reflecting and recovering the heart with the past wounded experience. So the heart itself, pure, unbreakable. So now what you need to do, you have to get into that purity. So then you have to know how to not to respond to the thoughts. And how to stay away from thoughts. Because if you go with thoughts, that is where the most of time this disappointment happens. So the thoughts go with the pattern. Hearts go with the nature, cause and effect. So the deeper yourself, you have the freedom, liberation, enlightenment itself you have within it. Within your consciousness, it is a part of it. So when it comes to four ultimacies, Chitta, Chaitasika, Rupa, Nibbana. So the Chitta, Chaitasika and the Rupa, those are the conventional level that we experience this life with this. But at the same time, ultimately, the liberation also one part of your mind. So it is there already. But the thing is, what happens, we go with this pattern in the conventional level of life. The very conventional level of nature is go with patterns, habits. And the very spiritual level of life, the very ultimate level of life is go with cause and effect. So then how you can transform yourself from these patterns, habits to very natural process of your life. That means cause and effect, causality. So when we come to that causality, cause and effect, that is where we call it independent. So if you go with the patterns or the habits, it's depending nature. So from depending nature to how you can transform to independent nature. So when it comes to a cell level, when it comes to our body, electron, neutron, protons, in the physical level, when we break down and we go to the atoms and we break down it, electron, neutron, protons, and when we take a cell, and if you break down the cell to two parts, and then that one part again you break down to another two. When you keep doing like this, there is something beautiful thing happen. In the very first level, if you break down one cell to two parts, still that cell start to survive with the habits or the pattern. And then you take that one part and you break it to another two parts, then still it going to survive with the habits or the memory. And so by the time what happened, if you keep breaking down, by the time this bottom part of the cell start to become independent, that means it reduced the power of depending from the memory and start to depending independently. So that depending independently means it start to open to cause and effect, causality, dependent origination. See this is our body. So if we put it to general example, it like this. So now just imagine in a day-to-day life, we have many things. You need, when it comes to sleep, you need your bed, and you need your own plate to eat. You need your own place to eat, and you have certain environment you set up for that, and your bathroom, and the way you doing things, your clothes, garments, and jewelries, your makeup, these things, this everything you need now. So now for tomorrow, when you wake up, you naturally go with it. Your body go with it. You feel so comfortable when you have it. So while you having it, while you look at it, if you think without that, if you can survive, you think it's kind of like you can't. You think it kind of like end of your life. Without your bed, without your plate, without your cup, without your bathroom, without your towel, without your garments, without your jewelries, without your makeup, and so any consumer product, just imagine anything. Put anything to that list first, all the material things, and then come to that people, or without husband or wife, without children, or without parents, without brothers, sisters, without friends or the partners. If you try to think without them, can you live? You can't. From where that you can't answer come? From your pattern, habitual pattern, memory. Your memory depend on that. But the true nature in you is, just imagine tomorrow, you wake up. When you wake up, this everything disappeared. Something happened, some natural disaster happened, or something happened, just imagine. Maybe anything can happen. So your husband or wife, that children, that everybody disappeared. You can't find them. They are no longer with us. And then, and this your bed, your plate, your chair, your bathroom, your garments, that everything disappeared. And still you going to live. You can live still. There is a way that you can live. Your body start to adapt to that situation right away. That is the very nature of the body. That's a very something that is the the best gift that we have. But we don't think about it while we having these things. So then in the mind, the same. You when it comes to your heart, the same. So only practice point of view, we use this heart and we divide it into part, and the brain, the mind, so kind of like that. But when it comes to the deeper level of the consciousness, this all together work, but it has different agencies. So now our purpose is, how you can rescue your life from this memory, from these thoughts. Because that thought, when you carry that thoughts within yourself, you become a very wounded person. You become very hurt person. You always try to look for that to fulfill your job. It's kind of you always looking to fulfill this unfinished job. You always look ahead and keep chasing. Go behind things. It never going to end. So that's why, remember, practicing meditation give you some kind of training, some kind of experience yourself to understand. So without these thoughts, there is another part in your life. Because when it comes to conventional truth and the eternal truth, so the eternal truth we not going to understand by conventional level. That's the thing. So the ultimate truth we cannot understand by conventional level. So this conventional level always going to be conventional. So then you have to come to a point not to depend on the conventional, not to look for eternal. That's a kind of like another middle path. Not to depend on conventional, but to not to look for eternal. Because the eternal, if you start to look for eternal level experience, still you look it through the conventional level of environment. So that's why you have to develop this in you. That is what the beauty of the present moment. Because the present moment means that present moment is the only place that you can find not affected by the memory and not mesmerized by the desire. So then we all have it. That is why it is available for you. Change is available for you. Liberation is available for you. Nibbana is available for you. Ultimate freedom or the satisfaction is available for you. Shift is available for you. But sometimes we don't know how to activate it. That's why you have to practice meditation. So when it comes to practice meditation, it's a moment kind of like you become independent. Because look at this, with our eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, we always depending from outside. We are kind of like a beggars. This beggarly nature, go behind things. It's never end in this conventional world. The conventional, this consumer world is always try to make us beggars, and even from the childhood, we train to be beggars, go behind things. It's never going to end. It's nothing wrong with it. But there is another way you can be independent. How you can be independent? Once you surrender to cause and effect or the causality, dependent origination, let things to be with you. Knowingly, you are not separate from the universe. You are part of the universe. And this everything from head to toes, this everything, moment by moment, is not unchangeable, solid, concrete, self-centered entity. This all, each and every cell in our body is a result of cause and effect. So once you come to that point, you can expand that understanding and you can go deeper with that understanding. So then rather than personalizing the experience, you start to experience it in a more deeper way. So that's why you need practice. So when it comes to meditation, this word meditation, in Buddhism we mention it as the bhavana. So the bhavana is a word rather than meditation, it we call the cultivation. So the cultivation is a kind of like a action that you do. It's kind of like a training, learning, practicing. So you have to do it. You have to do it. So then remember how to heal your heart first. How to get out of this wounded heart. How to stop this going behind this unfinished job. How to bring the satisfaction to your heart. For a moment, at least for a moment. So for that, when it comes to meditation, there are 4 kinds of meditation. Basically, every day you can develop. So you need that. Because otherwise, always remember. So we have vehicles and everywhere, look at every country, we have vehicles now. But at the same time, you have seen every corner, most of time, there is a garage. There is a tire place. And everywhere when you go, most of time, tow trucks. Why? Because accident happens, breakdown happens. So you need the recovery. So it's always there. But look at yourself. You go through this eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, this life journey. And through the samsara, this samsara means it's a endless journey that we keep going. And even to the forward. We have no idea where this is going to end. And how many times we got hurt? How many times we broke down our heart? And you never recovered. So then what happened when you break down your heart? What happened? Because you go with the hopes and then the fear is there. Unsatisfaction is there. And when you go to the next moment, then you don't want to open 100%. You hold back something. So that holding back effect for your creativity. It deeper kill your real person. Because then you appear like a half person. You smile, it's not a real smile. Why? Because you are deeply more now afraid to open. Why? Because you got hurt. So then your appearance itself not going to be 100%. Then once you hold back a little bit, then when you become kind of like a not 100% as who you are, so then by the time what happens? It is not real you. That's why it called the persona. We all are wearing a mask. Person means wearing a mask, persona. The real person, it is very difficult to recognize. We all are putting a mask. Why? Because we all are broken. we're carrying a broken heart ourselves. So because of that fear and self-protection, and we have the doubt, guilt. So with that things, see how when we going to do something, just see what will happen. So that is what happened. Then just imagine the entire world, if everybody experienced that, then how things going to happen? That is one thing happened to the world. Even international level, when it comes to the world leaders, when they ready to shake hands, sometimes they don't have confidence. You can see how they talk, and it's kind of like how they, treat each other, how they smile each other. They want to go to peace talk, but deeper inside their mind, they keep telling themselves, oh, he's an enemy, she's an enemy, oh, they are enemies. And then we try to shake hands. So then we cannot get into a solution. And then everybody suspect each other, no confident each other, and then collapse. And then we cannot be honest ourselves sometimes. We cannot express our true feelings because we become biased to that our inner feelings. And then see that every day, in day-to-day life, that is what we experience. So then it is your own responsibility to fix this. So then what you need to do, the very first level, remember, spend some time to recover yourself. Especially when you deal with other people, especially when you live in the family, with the husband, wife, children, brothers, sisters, because even though it is a one family, everybody think different way. They are different people. They have different history, different emotions, different behavior, different attitude, different kind of reactions. Nobody going to be the same like you. So then every day you're going to carry a lot of unnecessary pressure inside you to deal with these people. So you don't need that. But still you cannot just drop this everything, because that we have this inbuilt fear. Oh, what will happen then? So that's why, as a solution, bring the practice to your life. And then start to recover yourself, build up yourself. That's why the practice is necessary, especially like this lifestyle, or like this lifestyle. So for that, basically, like 4 pillars, there are 4 kind of meditation techniques. So you have to apply it to your day-to-day life. It's called the Kaya Bhavana, Sila Bhavana, Chitta Bhavana, Panya Bhavana. So this kind of like a foundation for your spiritual practice, and this is a kind of like a foundation to heal your heart, heal your life. So get out of your wounded life. This is a medicine. Kaya Bhavana. So the Bhavana here means, remember, it's kind of like a cultivation. To look, for children, we teach them how to eat, how to talk, how to walk, and how to learn. We teach them. And even in the sport fields, the coach always teach other students how to do things. And then by the time they become best players. So same like yourself, the bhavana, another meaning for bhavana is kind of like a learning, practicing. Brush up yourself, clean yourself, doing it. So then Kaya Bhavana means cultivation of the body. So that here the body means that your physical actions, physical behavior, and the good manners also one part of it. So you have to practice. Just imagine when you get angry, mad, disappointed, how you react. You use your body, physical body, you use your physical strength to go against others. And you don't know how to maintain this body when you get angry. You know, the word, you blame, say bad words, unnecessary words, harsh word. It's kind of like you you sometimes kill people with the words. You destroy their dignity, telling bad words. You put them down, telling bad words. And you, with the bad words, you can hurt them. And it's kind of like for people. Remember, your words can affect for them like a more than like a poisoned arrow. So sometimes when you get mad, angry, because why we get angry? Because we also wounded. And you know, any wounded person, they get angry. They are in pain. So we all are in pain. So then sometimes when you get hurt, when they get hurt, they say very bad things. They do very bad things. They abuse their own physical body and go against others. They violate these basic human rules, hit each other, fight each other. So then what you need to do, Kaya Bhavana. This is very important in day-to-day life. Maintain your physical body. Maintain your physical body without doing harm to anybody. You have to practice it, otherwise you cannot do it. When you sit, learn your children to sit properly. And when you do things, learn them to do it properly. Physical discipline. Follow the good manners. When you go to a place, and you have to behave nicely. So that is another thing, is slowing down the current that we build inside our body is also very necessary. Slow down. So for that you can practice walking meditation. One thing. Another thing is doing slowly things, doing slow, and observing yourself doing slow. And another thing is practicing sitting without moving your body, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and mindfully practice your body. Because remember that before you do something, most of time in your mind, you already decide to do it. We basically do it verbal action, physical actions. It just suddenly we cannot do most of time. We keep thinking it, that what you think you start to do. So then you start to observe yourself, your physical actions. Correct it yourself, little by little, little by practice. So by practicing, you can overcome that. So that way you're replacing something, and then your physical action, your verbal action, even you feel like to blame to other people, you don't do it. Maybe you apply some other words or stay silent. Stay silent. That is one of the best solution that we have. And if you feel kind of like you want to hit them, you want to kill other person, you come to unmovable sitting posture like a statue. You don't move. So within 1 minute, 1 second, 1 minute, it passes, it's go away, that current. But when that current come, once maybe that current overtake the moment, the system, very difficult. But that's why when the current come, you have to have the practice how to do it. So that's way, very easily, you are capable to handle this kaya bhavana. So remember always, watch your body, and it's kind of like a download yourself, your own movements. Like when we come to practice like martial art, because I know that field. So when you come to unknown person, when you go to tournament like a boxing, fighting, or kind of like that, very good fighters, they have a very good skill. We call it downloading system. What is the downloading system? Means when you go to unknown person, within few moments, the way that other person behave, you recognize. That person go to the left side, right side, and how he use his left leg, right leg, which one is more powerful and what are his technique. So kind of you right away download the person. Once the system you download to yourself, that person is helpless. You can take that person very easily. So same thing, same like you watch your body. You watch your body and you download yourself your own action, because most of the time you never saw it. Now you see, oh, I should not do this. Oh, I should behave like this. Oh, when I get angry, I have to be like this. So you download yourself and start to hold it. Analyze it. Kaya bhavana. Then the sila bhavana, the next one, always remember. Of course, that ethical conduct, moral discipline. Discipline is the key point for development of this conventional life and even for any spiritual foundation. No doubt about it. So then always remember yourself. Personally, start to have some kind of discipline in you. Maybe it can be different person to person, but at least 5 precepts and some other disciplines. Build up some discipline, and when you think about it, you feel confident yourself. You always, when you go down, you can anchor into it. You can hold it to it. Otherwise, you become helpless. That is where maybe you get more mad. So develop some kind of good qualities in you. Because when the life go down, when disappointment happen, when everything fall into parts, sometimes that our inner practice, our disciplines, practice, moral disciplines, virtue, become a kind of like an anchor. Sometimes when the heavy rains come with others' criticism, blame, our own discipline kind of like become an umbrella to us. So then always remember yourself. It's a protection for you. So develop some discipline. Don't available to do anything. Discipline yourself. I don't do this. I don't do that. So kind of like always you have yourself that discipline life that protect you, give the protection. It's very necessary. Physical discipline, verbal discipline, and mental discipline. So like that, develop some kind of discipline to yourself and increase the power of it. And the third one called the Chitta Bhavana. So the Chitta Bhavana, for this Chitta Bhavana, another meaning is we call the tranquility meditation also, Samatha meditation also we mention as Chitta Bhavana. But here, Chitta Bhavana basically you observe your mind and understand the nature of the mind. Then you see it is not you, because it's something else. That's why we have long, deeper memory, and sometimes that our own inner behavior, we know that sometimes it come and we forget that everything and we go with it. And we don't understand how it come, and even we know it is not me. And if you ever watch the movie called this Anna Carolina, so if you have time, it is better to watch that movie. But before you watch that, there are another thing. So remember, when you have time, even especially for young children, show them that one is Romeo Juliet, and other one is the Anna Carolina. So because it gives us that deeper understanding that our human behavior, our human characters, our ego, our self-centered mind, pride, and how these things behave. To understand it, very necessary. And so when it comes to Anna Carolina, why I say that? Because she go through this emotional behavior to look for happiness. And then by the time she mentioned, it is not her. She understood what the mistake that she done, and then she tell to her husband, it is not me. So that is one of the deeper, this psychological reading that go through this human mind. So we the same. So remember yourself then. Chitta Bhavana means you analyze your own thoughts, recognize it, not to go behind it, but to observe it. Another thing is, when it comes to tranquility mind, you get a primary mental object and settle down with it. With the one primary mental object. So there are two ways, just remember. You can observe the thoughts and not to react to it, not to go with it. Another one is, you get a one primary mental object which is not related to greed, hatred, or the delusion. So that's why most of the time we take the breathing and you settle down with it, be with it. And so that way you are capable to handle this turbulence that happen inside the mind. Another thing is, for the Chitta Bhavana, so you need some practice for the life. So that's why you have to have these five spiritual powers or the five spiritual faculties. Shraddha, Virya, Sati, Samadhi, Panya. Shraddha, have some faith, conviction, believe in higher purpose, anchoring to higher purpose. Trust yourself, your life, trust the human life, trust the power of goodness. Oh, you can believe regarding any spiritual leader related to you. But always remember not to go behind the greed, hatred, or the delusion. So that's why, according to the Buddhism, we always have the faith towards the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. So have some kind of spiritual faith in you. It is very necessary. It doesn't matter you become very successful in the material world. But always remember, you have to have some kind of spiritual back. Even you can become a world leader. But if you are just a leader and if you don't have any spiritual back, you're going to have a big trouble. Not only you, the entire world may be going to have a big, big trouble. So that's why always remember, as parents, that whatever you give to children, nothing wrong with any toys. But at the same time, one of the important thing that you have to give, remember, give some spiritual background. It is very necessary. Shraddha. The virya. The next one is the effort, strength, energy. Not to be lethargic, lazy, gloomy. Because life is not easy. Things not going to happen the way we want. Always turbulence, always barriers, always difficulties. So if we start to give up, then what will happen? We're going to hate each other. We're going to blame to other people. Then the anger arises, hatred arises, jealousy arises. This is what happened. And that's why, so now we already have the broken heart. So then to recover ourselves, you have to have some energy. See, when somebody gets sick for a few days, after that, to get back to, you give some kind of, soup and some vitamins, some kind of food that give the physical strength. The same thing through the sansaric journey, your heart is broken to pieces, 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 pieces. So then with that, for tomorrow, maybe you have no enough energy in your mind. So we always accumulated that unsatisfaction. So you have no enough energy now. So that's why. Develop the strength, energy. How you can boost it. Look at around. There are many, many spiritual masters. There are many, many people. There are many, many leaders went through difficulties and they found their success. They came to their pinnacle point. So you also can do that. Another thing is always looking to a higher purpose. Build up yourself. You have to know you are responsible for your life and you have to move forward. So then have a higher purpose. And Saddha Virya, then the next one is the Sati, the mindfulness. So always have that mindfulness. Whatever you do, it is very necessary. Without the mindfulness, things can go wrong very easily. Especially now we deal with the machines and technology. If you make a mistake, sometimes it is very difficult to reverse it. So then always be aware. and samadhi, concentration. And we are kind of like, we think that the being multitasking is more profitable. No, people are becoming very weak to stay focused, doing one thing for a long time. They jumping here and there. Today this technique, tomorrow that technique, today this place and then tomorrow another place. And then go even meditation, go retreat to retreat. And even meditation techniques, they cannot just keep practice one technique for 1 month. No, they today one technique and tomorrow another technique. This doesn't work. Learn to stay with one thing. Do one thing at one time. Increase the duration and be sustainable with it. Don't look here and there. And the other one is the panya, the wisdom, conventional level. So the conventional level, the wisdom means you have to learn, study, have the open mind, look around. Don't close yourself. Don't believe though you know everything. Be hungry for knowledge. So that doesn't mean that you go behind everything. No, learn. So that's why listening is also it's a part of the wisdom. Sutame jnana, chintame jnana, bhavaname jnana. So learning, panya, develop your wisdom day by day. And that all included to chitta bhavana and tranquility meditation. And the fourth one is panya bhavana. So when it comes to here, panya bhavana means now this all kaya bhavana, sila bhavana, chitta bhavana, this all conventional level. Panya bhavana here means now we go to the vipassana level. That's mean that what we experience in this conventional level, always you have to remember it is conventional. So the conventional means then itself it is not real. Of course, that what we experience, we take as reality, but it depends on many things. There is something beyond that what we experience. That is what called the ultimate truth. Conventional truth, of course, this everything truth. But what is the ultimate truth? So then remember, this ultimate truth, we cannot understand like this conventional truth. That is one of the mistakes that we do. So then what you need to do? So that's why you have to bring your practice to more higher level. Because the ultimate truth can experience by you only by practicing, not by someone else explanation, not by someone else experience. It's not going to happen. So I have kind of like a salt in my hand and I experience it, the salty. And the same color, it look the same powder and you have in your mind, hand, it's sugar. So now I have this salt in my hand. When you see that salt and you have the same, look like the same, and then in your mind, you start to recognize it as the sugar. That is the conventional truth. We go with our personal experience. But the ultimate truth is you become free from that judging, analyzing. According to that, what you go through, oh, you have this sugar in your hand and in my hand I have salt, and comparison, and come to a conclusion. Oh, I have this that color same, then that should be the same. No. You withdraw from this, that your self-centered experience, and you willing to, without becoming biased to that what you experience, and you become free from it, you willing to experience this what I have in my hand. That's the only way you can recognize what is this. So like that, always remember, when it comes to ultimate truth, Nibbana or the liberation or the freedom, there is something beyond that what we experience. Because that what we experience always, depending on the condition of our mind and the environment and our habitual patterns. But there is something beyond that. So there is a way that you can access to it. But first, you have to remember, through conventional way, you cannot access to that. So that's why you have to come to a point, withdraw from the conventional, and but still not to look for eternal. Because if you look for eternal level, you are still in this conventional level. That's why withdraw from the conventional, but don't look for eternal. Stay middle. Then let it appear. So you can put the seed. But you cannot bring the flower. You cannot bring the tree out. You cannot put the roots to that tree. No, it going to happen. So like that, let it happen. Let it happen. Only thing is, can you withdraw from this eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind desires? And with the awareness, with the very unbiased mind, without putting any kind of method or pattern to your moment of the mind, can you stay and observe very clearly and see how it come to be as it is? So in that very level, within your form, feeling, perception, volition, recognition, within yourself, and at the same time within this outside, you can see what is this experience. So that not going to be conventional. So when it comes to that, if it is not conventional, you cannot bring it to words and try to explain it to others. But still there is a way that you can experience it. So that's why by practicing you can get into that. So remember this 4 meditation technique: Kaya Bhavana, Sila Bhavana, Chitta Bhavana, Panya Bhavana. So this 4 meditation methods will help you to recover yourself from your broken heart and heal your heart and become more sustainable yourself and become more contentment. Have within yourself the contentment and develop the trust and confidence yourself. And with that, you can move forward, because we cannot change the world, we cannot change the people, we cannot change the environment. We have to be with them. So we don't know tomorrow what kind of situation going to happen to us. So that's why more than any other time, we all need this practice. So then try to think about it and put this to practice and develop yourself, recover yourself, and move forward until you gain your ultimate freedom. So with that, let's get into practice a little bit now. So your right palm on your left and neck head straight in one line, and be comfortable with your posture. So bring your attention to your body and scan head to toes yourself and say Suapatveva, or may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge in this moment with this sitting. May my body become more comfortable. May my breath be more smooth. May no difficulties come to me. May all the success come to me. Also think for a moment. This is the last moment we are spending in this very lifetime. And detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing your inhalation and exhalation in front of your nose and your upper lip area. So in the beginning, deeply and gently breathe in, breathe out 3 times, please. And allow your inhalations, exhalations happen itself. When it happens, just recognize. Do nothing extra. Bring your attention to your body, please. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also as far as you can through galaxies, other planets, stars. Reminding yourself like this. With clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe, and may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart forward. Visualize yourself and send it as a light to your backside, to your left side, and to your right side. Downward and upward. To all six directions at once, like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy, without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance, or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest, wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So first of all, we offer this practice to the great qualities of the Buddha, Dhamma and the Sangha. Also by the power of this meritorious deed, may all of us attain to the supreme bliss of Nibbana. May all your guardian angels and deities will receive these merits and increase their longevity and protect all of you from any kind of planetary influences or any ill effects. Ittavata cha mihi sampadang punya sampadang sabbe deva numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhuta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe satta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya Imaya Dhammanu Dhamma Patipattiya Buddhang Pujemi Dhammang Pujemi Sanghang Pujemi Addaya Imaya Patipattiya Jati Jara Vyadhi Maranam Ha Paribunjisami Idam me punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamuncatu. Bless you.